Okay, so we may be feature complete with our project, but there's something else that we need to do for it. We have 55 warnings that are not really that awesome to have. So in this video, I'm just going to go through and we're going to clean up some of these. So I'm just going to use VS Code to find them, and we'll just sort of like deal with them as it is. So a lot of them are just things like, oh, we brought in stuff we don't really need anymore. Okay, great. Yeah, we brought in glue console here. We don't need that. Same thing here. I'm also looking to the right to see if I can find any errors, because the difference between saving and like having the errors show up, it takes so long. Let's see, once again, just this one, I think. Oh, I can actually see right here, just this one on this file. Okay. Okay, so text input. This one has a couple errors, I think. So first of all, use state. We want just to be a new state, a new string, so we can actually pull in. Just use the new function itself. So instead of calling it, we just pass in a new function. It's very similar to like how JavaScript works, where you can just pass in the new function there. There's also these two down here. So this clone goes away, and props value unwrap. What are you yelling about? Unwrap and props value check with some. Some unnecessary unwrap on by default. Try using an if let. Okay, so basically it's, hey, what if we used an if let for this? Now I have this inside of this if, and I don't know if we can use like an and in an if let. I've never tried that. We should. So I'm going to go ahead and save the previous ones first, so we have a full Clippy and REST analyzer to help us out here. First of all, no quick fixes. Okay, I always look for that first, because if that works, then it's going to it does everything for you, right? So props value, I want this out. So what if we do if let props value equals props value is props value is this option string, and so like is okay, so is some I guess it would be that, and not equals to that. Okay, so can I do an if let like this? This is the real question. Let experiments in this position are experimental. Okay, so I can't actually do something like this, and unfortunately. So that it's going to want me to do this in a separate statement, I bet. So hold on, let's undo this. Okay, so bring back to new. Say we stop cloning that. Okay, so what if we just okay, if let we're gonna have our props value equals props value. Okay, so if let this equals this one, so we have urine is some. Then I want, oh, it's gonna be some that. Then inside of here, we're gonna do this other if here. So if we have a props value, we get this out. Now we can do and props value. We already know your and is some, so it can just be that one here. Props value as ref unwrapped. Okay, so we want to just check to see if this is empty. So is not is empty. And set you to be props value. So it's a nested if instead of just a single if, but I can see why Clippy wants us to do that. All right, redundant clone. So same thing here. Now you're gonna want called unwrap on value after checking its variant with is some. Try using if let or match. So same idea here. So we'll do a if let some state equals state. So we don't need to check this state anymore. We get you out, state.set. Wait a second. I think I did the wrong thing. I think it was value, right? On value, it's value. Okay. So I did it to the wrong thing there. Okay. So if let some value equals value. Okay. So we grab that out. Then as loaded state is the same, but value, we don't need to check because we already know it exists here. State.set, our value, we get you out. And has loaded set true. Okay, so that should be good there. Down to 46 errors now. We still have some more in this file here, right? No, these are just updated. Okay, so 2 errors inside of here. Unnecessary clone, it looks like. And then for you, it's this ID. Returning the result of a let binding from a block. Let and return on by default. Unnecessary let binding. Oh, right, because we have this. So what I really want to do is no semicolon there and no let here. So we just are returning the ID straight from it. Okay, a couple things we don't need. So we don't need the BB text area, the history here, or history here. Don't need serialize and deserialize. And then current route is unused. Now, if we're not using current route, then I don't need this thing at all. Okay, let's see, in task. Writing a reference to a vec instead of a reference to an array involves one more reference and cannot be used with non-vec based slices. So you want this to be an array of tasks. I can get behind that. Okay, next up, use of unwrap or followed by a function call. So unwrap or, this should probably be unwrap or default, right? Try this, unwrap or else. That's what it is. So I want this to be, can you fix it? Quick fix. Turns into unwrap or else with a closure inside. Excellent. Okay, unused import. We don't use utils history. Or here. Okay, so we're not using this history or self or the dispatch. You have to be quick with some of these because if you're not paying attention, you wait long enough for the recompile, like halfway between the recompile, it keeps the squiggly lines on the different, like on a different line. So it makes it really hard to sort of like remember, oh, what actually wasn't there without resaving and like rerunning this. Okay, 31 errors. We're almost there. Or we're getting closer at least. So unnecessary clones for all of these, it looks like. Okay, so we have patch task. Okay, this is a lot here. Patch task, and then the glues. Okay, then history. All right, then redundant clones, but only on the first 3 here. Okay, 20 errors. Let's see. Using clone on type option bool, which implements the copy trait. So this is going to auto copy instead of clone here. So that's fine. Now you consider dereferencing the borrow. Okay, so we need to dereference you, which will then copy it. Excellent. Okay, next up, use of unwrap or followed by a function call. So we want this to be the same thing that we did before. I think I can right click, try this, and that turns it into an unwrap or else with a closure. A whole bunch of things we're not using. So this entire standard ops, also that entire API. So all of you set tasks and store. I believe all of you and the UX prelude, not surprised there. Okay, less than 10 now. This expression borrows a reference that is immediately dereferenced by the compiler. So it's a needless borrow by default. So can I change this to, and it changes it to something else. So it's B priority as ref, unwrap or, and then we just reference it right here to owned. Okay, excellent. All right, more sort of like lost of these use statements. So I need, oh, I guess like all three of those. Don't need, you don't need, and you router prelude don't need. Uh-oh, brought in too much. Okay, so import store, please, from create store. One more error. Okay, so we have our option map. This is saying it's a manual map on by default. Try this. Okay, so now we have self tasks iter find, and then we do the find and then map from there. So it's much nicer looking. But then using explicit closure for cloning elements. Okay, can you consider calling the dedicated cloned method? So instead of clone, cloned. Hey, and it recompiled, and it liked that. I don't think I've used cloned before on this, so that's it's kind of nice to sort of see that. Now, if we head back to Cypress, let's rerun our tests and make sure that everything is still working as expected. It's one of the reasons why I really like having an automated testing suite. Is it allows us to just make these sweeping changes and know whether or not what we just did is broke everything, broke some random things, or if we're happy. And it indeed so far looks like we are happy. I think I'll probably go in and off stream change the error message to wait like only 10 seconds or maybe 12 seconds or so. Okay, so everything is good there. We have a very clean sort of like code base now. It's no longer yelling at us about optional things, errors, or anything else. I think we're looking good. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.